About a week after our original interview, Robbie asked me to come back. This was a tone of voice that I've never really heard from Robbie. I've heard upset Robbie. I've heard friendly, laughing, joking Robbie. This tone of voice was different. I could tell there was actually something in his voice that he was actually very disturbed by something, almost frightened. So let's give a listen to what Robbie had to say about his encounters after our last interview. So Robbie, it's been about a week now since you and I last spoke, and I gave you several names for paranormal team, and you decided not to have them come in. But then you asked me to come back, and you wanted to do an interview about what's been going on. So what prompted you to call me?
Well, I mean, after we had our discussion, I talked to my team and we decided that we didn't need a paranormal team to come in here. We know nothing's going on, or so we thought. And since we shot the documentary, since we had our conversation, there's been a lot of little things that have been coming up that we've been writing off. Lights flickering, it all started with kind of hearing little noises here and there, but we're on, we have heads above us, the building set. I mean, there's so many things that can explain what's been going on. So we just kind of wrote them off, and then it started getting worse.
Okay. So has that all been just in the basement, or has it been in other parts too?
It started in the basement. Usually when we lock up for the night, we go through the basement, down the stairs to go to our back door, and we throw the trash out in the dumpster, and we no longer do that.
Why not?
Well, I guess it was after we had a out of the box paint night is what it was called. We were cleaning up and we went to go take trash out, and it was me and two other employees and my wife, who was teaching the paint class. And we went down the back stairs like we always do. And we went to the back door and to go out the door to throw the trash out and get in our cars to leave for the day. And even though the door was unlocked, it wouldn't open. And my wife was pulling the door. It was unlocked, and she said the door won't open up. So I went and I pulled on it and I made sure it was unlocked, and it was. And then I was yanking on it as hard as I could, and I was just pulling on that door, and it wouldn't open up. And I was thinking, okay, did the freaking wood expand, or like, what happened? And out of nowhere, whenever I went to go give it another huge tug, it flew open with zero resistance at all. Almost as if something was holding the door, and then let us out. It almost seemed like a warning of some sort. Almost like you're here, and I want you to know if I wanted to, I could keep you here. And then they let us go. The door opened and we went about our business. and left for the night. And then it was getting weirder and weirder every time we came in the building, and it started upstairs.
Have any of your employees complained about anything?
Yeah, one of our employees quit. She came to, she was working by herself that night along with, I was here as well, but she was the only other staff member here. When we were doing, we always come in the night before a show and just make sure everything's cleaned up from rehearsals and from, planning and other things that we do here when we're not having a show. So we come in the night before, just do a cleaning, make sure everything's cleaned up, make sure everything's good to go. And while we were here, it was just her and I. She walked into our prep kitchen area to grab some cleaner, and she dropped the cleaner, and when she bent over to pick it up, she just let out this scream. And I was in the performance space, straightening up chairs and doing just some quick sweeping. And I heard her scream, and I ran over, and she had this huge scratch on her forearm. It wasn't bleeding, but you get a scratch, you can see like it gets red and a little bit of blood starts to come out, but it wasn't like dripping blood, but and it was the whole way from her elbow all the way down to her wrist. And I was like, oh my God, what did you do? Like, and she was like, nothing. And I was like, did you scratch it on like one of the pieces of equipment, the table, whatever? And she was like, no, I didn't do anything. I was in the middle of the floor, and the scratch was 3 lines the whole way down. I tried to get her cleaned up and get the first aid kit out, and she refused, and she left, and I haven't heard from her. Nobody's heard from her since. She won't return any of our messages. It's just gotten worse and worse since. Every day something else seems to be happening.
So what do you plan on doing about all this?
I think the biggest thing is whatever this is, it needs to be fixed. I don't know how to explain anything that's been happening. Glasses we're coming into broken glasses on the floor. We're coming into liquor bottles that have been knocked off the counters. Reach-in coolers are open, and we know that they're not. Our security team has looked through all of the footage, and there's nothing there. You can see the glass fall. You can see the liquor bottles fall. But it's just, we know they were closed. We know that we didn't leave glass in the middle of the floor. So I am going to be taking up on your offer if you're still willing to give it to me, with my sincerest apologies, saying that you faked this. Something isn't right, and all I want to do is run a successful business and to bring arts and entertainment to the Arts and Entertainment District. That's all I've wanted to do, and whatever we did in that basement over a month ago, something's not right. Something woke up, and it doesn't want to do it. But I'm not going to let it stop us.
Anything else you want to add?
So we'll probably be closed for a little bit. Once we get an investigation team to come in, you know, and get a date. They said that we have to close down for the week. So once we figure out when that will be, we'll let you know. I will say, when there are people here, and we have people here at our shows and our events, it's quiet, nothing happens. You know, we've never had any complaints from anybody that, you know, that they've experienced anything. It seems to be when we're the most vulnerable. It's like it knows. Whatever it is, it knows.
All right, thank you very much for your interview.